Hello, good morning. My name is Ann Owen. I teach on the animation and visual effects course at Falmouth University. I've come here this morning to show you one or two bits and bobs of stop motion puppets and talk to you a little bit about stop motion animation. In my dim and distant past, I used to work as a stop motion animator on Bob the Builder back when it was a stop motion show before they turned it into CGI animation. So I brought a few puppets in to show you this morning, just to show you the kind of thing that you have got, ranging from the kind of thing that they use in the industry to the kind of puppet you can make yourself. So this one here, this is an armature, which is the internal skeleton of, we call it an armature. It's the internal skeleton that's inside a stop motion puppet. And most stop motion puppets will have some kind of armature inside them. Characters like Morph don't, some of the plasticine characters don't, but the Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, they all have something like this inside them. And this one's quite a sophisticated one. It can carry quite a lot of weight, and you would build that up with foam and padding to make the shape of the body, and then put clothes on it and animate it. You can buy these yourself. There's a few places online where you can buy them. They are not cheap. There's a company called Malvern Armatures. There's another one called Animation Toolkit, and there's one called Animation Supplies, which is where this one comes from, that do my sort of personal favourite puppets. But they are not cheap, the armatures, and this particular one's a professional level armature. It's a really nice one. And you will use these with, they use them with metal stages that have little holes in, and they have magnets. So the way that they attach to the stage is either with a magnet underneath the stage, like that, or they also have tiny little holes in the bottom of the feet. So you can also attach them to the stage with things called tie downs, which come up from underneath the stage and then screw into the bottom of the foot that hold them very flat on the surface. So this metal stage with holes in is pretty much what is underneath any stop motion set you'll see will have something like that underneath it. So that's the kind of thing that they use professionally. And when film companies get them made for things like Box Trolls and Coraline, you're talking about puppets that cost thousands, tens of thousands of pounds, so they can be really quite expensive things. But the kind of thing that you can probably make a little bit more easily at home is this kind of thing. Now, these ones are made of balsa wood. They're made of balsa wood and aluminium wire, and I'll show you what they look like inside in a moment on one of the other puppets. So this is carved balsa wood, and the individual pieces are whittled down to shape. There's a little bit of aluminium wire in the joint there holding it together, and that's just a little tube of sponge covering it over. And with these ones, they're not meant to look particularly realistic. You don't necessarily need to hide the materials that you've made your puppet out of. They can look quite nice if we can see what they're made of. And just to show you what goes on underneath the clothing. So this is the aluminium wire that goes in between the joints, so it's glued in there with an epoxy glue either side. That's a really strong glue where you mix two different types of glue together, and it causes a chemical reaction, and that causes the glue to set, which makes a really nice strong joint. You can really only use aluminium wire for this. People say, oh, can I use copper wire? Can I use steel wire? There isn't really anything else you can use that has the same kind of bendy properties as aluminium wire, but the good news is that you can buy it quite easily these days on places like eBay. And it's a good idea as well, if you are making anything like this yourself. You can see that there's two pieces of wire twisted together. Aluminium wire will eventually break after you bend it a certain amount of times, so having two bits of wire means that when one bit breaks, your puppet isn't completely useless. You've still got another piece of wire to keep going. So that's what's kind of underneath these guys. And these ones here are the same thing. They're balsa wood underneath. This one here, which is just covered with little bits of newspaper. And this one over here, stand up please, they don't take direction very well. This one over here is covered with pressed leaves as well. And she used to have wings many years ago, but the wings have long since disintegrated. But she's also balsa wood underneath. But these days, these balsa wood ones were made quite a while ago. There is this fantastic new material called Polymorph, which comes in a tub or a plastic bag, and it looks like this. And what you do is you put these grains into hot water and they melt and they become see-through, and you can mould it a little bit like clay, and you have to keep putting it in hot water to make it soft again. And you can mould it into something like that. So that's a leg armature for a puppet. So it's exactly the same idea as the balsa wood puppets, except it's made from polymorph. It's a really nice light material. When you're making stop motion puppets, it's really important to keep them as light as possible, because that wire needs to support the whole puppet. This ankle joint, actually, ankle joints need to be able to support the weight of the entire puppet. Ankle joints are hugely important. So you need to keep the puppet as light as possible, and this is a really nice material for doing that. So these are the kind of things that we teach our students to make at university, and we also have a number of the ball and socket joint armatures that they can use to practice and learn to do stop motion animation with. But the one that I am going to show you how to make today is much simpler than that, is these guys out of pipe cleaners. So these are, they're very, very tiny, but you can animate with them. You can create quite nice movement with them. They bend quite nicely. They hold their own weight. A test of a good puppet is, can you hold it like that without it going break like that? So they hold their weight. They're not going to fall over. And you can use them like these two guys down here. This is a double-sided sticky tape, which you can purchase on well-known online auction sites. Any double-sided sticky tape will do. This one is a sort of removable one, so it's not going to destroy your surfaces, but normal double-sided sticky tape is also fine. And it's just something to stick the feet down so that you've got one foot stuck down while you then kind of move. You can then move the other one so you can animate them running, walking, waving, crying, whatever you want them to be doing. So I'm going to show you how to make one of those out of pipe cleaners. So the best pipe cleaners to use for these are the cotton type that you buy for actually cleaning pipes. So a lot of the time, if you go online and look for pipe cleaners, you'll find lots of advertisements for the great big kind of fuzzy ones that you use for making crafts. And they're not so good because they're a little bit too springy. Whereas this kind of thing, you can buy them online. They're cotton pipe cleaners, but if you put into your search engine pipe cleaners rather than craft pipe cleaners, then they'll come up. And then there's this well-known brand that you can buy in newsagents and supermarkets and places like that, which are the bright yellow coloured ones, these ones, which are also very good. So cotton pipe cleaners. So what you do is you need 3 pipe cleaners, and you bend them all, put a crease in them all, sort of halfway along like that. So you've got 3 pipe cleaners with creases halfway along. You're going to put one down, and you're going to keep 2 for the moment. Oops. So what you do with your first pipe cleaner is you're going to make a little loop at the end like this. This is going to be a foot. You make a little loop, pinch it together there between your finger and thumb, and just twist it a couple of times. That's going to be your first foot. I'm going to do that again with another one. So this is my bent pipe cleaner. Going to make a little loop, pinch it together, twist it a couple of times. So that's now my foot. And then I'm going to bend it forwards like that. So you've got one foot there, and then you've got another foot. Like that, sorry, other way, bend it that way. So you end up with 2 legs. These are your legs. Don't know if you can see that okay. Like that. You're going to cross them over like that, and then you're going to grab your 3rd pipe cleaner, which is a V. So cross over the legs, pinch them at one side like that, and then you're going to take your 3rd pipe cleaner and you're going to put it between the legs like that, so it's hooking. I'll show you that sideways. So it's hooking between the legs like that, And then you're going to pinch that also between your thumb and your forefinger there, and just hold it like that. Then you're going to take one end of that and you're going to wrap it round underneath there. Ouch! You're going to wrap it round underneath there twice, so that you've got that. And then what you're going to do is pull these two side bits upwards and squeeze all those 4 bits together, but keep them so that they're parallel. Don't have them crossing over. They still need to stay in line. You're just bending them all upwards like that. Then you're going to hold his body. This is his tummy or her tummy in between your thumb and forefinger. And the outside 2 bits, you're just going to bend out like that. So these are the arms that are sticking out. So you've got 2 arms sticking out, and then you've got 2 bits sticking up at the top. You're going to take the shortest bit, and to start with, just bend it forwards. So it's like that. And then take that short bit, round to the side under the armpit, around the back, round the front, and it should be just about long enough to wrap all the way around underneath the armpits where his chest is, to hold everything together. And you can see it's starting to look a bit more like a person now. Those are his arms. And then the last thing you need to do is to turn that over into a loop, pinch it together, twist it a couple of times, and you've got a head. And there's your character. And you can put some kinks in the elbows to show where his elbows are, and some kinks in the knees to show where the knees are. And if you want to make him run or walk, ideally, you need to have a tiny kink in the foot to create that bit in the foot where the heel turns into the ball of the foot, so that he can walk and run, which is the way that you've got the character down here on the sellotape. You can see he's got his slightly kinked foot, so he's standing on his toe there. And that is a really good way to make a very tiny, very basic puppet that you can practice your animation with. And that's me finished. Thank you very much.